Welcome back, Lazy Daze family. We're back at it again with another history reaction for you guys today, and we are on the Rise of China series. But it's the last episode for you guys today, and that is the economic revolution that made China a superpower today. And I hope you guys are looking forward to this. If you haven't already, head over to Epic History channel. That link's in the description box down below. And of course, if you want to stick to the end of the video and see if I can answer 5 questions to do with this video, to see if I retain any of the information, then stay on to the end of the video like that. And if you're enjoying this type of content, you know what you need to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But we're going to jump straight into this video. Setting things right. The guiding philosophy. Interesting. Reform and opening up. What has this chapter got for us? Let's go. I've been really enjoying this series.
And China has a new leader, the 74-year-old Deng Xiaoping. Deng's record as a reformer, as well as his frank and avuncular manner, is a stark contrast to the memory of Mao Zedong.
Yeah, it seems the complete opposite.
Deng is convinced that only the Chinese Communist Party can lead China to prosperity. But he also believes major reforms are necessary to do it.
And this is where this bastardization of communists and capitalism is born, right?
And Zhao Ziyang, who Deng describes as his left and right hands.
Okay. Loyalist to him or just good at what they do?
Together they promote the 4 modernizations in agriculture.
Yeah, we learned about this in the last episode.
National defense and science and technology.
Yep. And again, all things you need to modernize in. But
there is also a growing number who question China's repressive system.
Agree with it?
Encouraged by Deng's talk of ideological liberation, activists stick up political posters along Beijing's Xidan Street.
Interesting.
It becomes known as the Democracy Wall. Many of the posters criticize Mao and the Gang of Four. Deng Xiaoping tolerates this criticism of his predecessors, even as so-called big character posters spread across Beijing and other major cities.
Interesting, so he's not cracking down like Mao would.
People have grievances and they should be allowed to express them, Deng tells an American journalist. Most posters are anonymous, but in December 1978, Wei Jingsheng, an electrician and former Red Guard, posts an essay entitled "The Fifth Modernization."
Interesting. This is going to
Signing
be a problem,
it with
right?
his real name and address, he argues that democracy is essential for the welfare of the Chinese people. Democracy, freedom, and happiness for all are our sole objectives in carrying out modernization, he writes.
That's going to get him in a lot of trouble, isn't it?
The new spirit of openness are revealed. Wei Jingsheng and 30 other activists are arrested and given long jail sentences.
So you're trying to change the regime entirely. Fares to uphold socialism, we must eliminate poverty. Poverty is not socialism. That is a fair statement. Are they able to do it? Socialism with Chinese characteristics.
In March 1979, Deng Xiaoping introduces 4 basic principles.
And this is the
1.
bastardization
Uphold
of
the socialist road.
communist, right? Communism,
2. Uphold the dictatorship of the proletariat. 3. Uphold the leadership of the Communist Party. 4. Uphold Marxism, Leninism, Mao Zedong thought. Any misapprehension that Deng's reforms will include an end to one-party rule are firmly laid to rest. Nevertheless,
how are the
his
people
planned
going to take
economic
this,
reforms are ambitious and far-reaching. Deng signals his desire to strengthen international relations and expand trade during a landmark visit to the United States. It's the first by a Chinese leader since 1943. In Texas, his evident enjoyment of American traditions helps win over the crowds and underscores his pragmatic approach to China's foreign relations.
Interesting, okay.
Deng's goal is to lift millions of ordinary Chinese out of poverty and into the middle class. The means will be a new economic system, socialism with Chinese characteristics.
What does that entail, though? Come on,
For the first time, elements of market capitalism will be introduced.
This is what I mean.
Into
This
what has been a rigidly
bastardization of communism.
state-controlled communist model. Decisions will be decentralized, industries opened to private enterprise, and price controls loosened. However, the changes will be introduced cautiously, and all aspects of the economy will remain under close government supervision.
That is the thing, they will have a hand in it.
Special economic zones will be the blazing beacons of China's new economic era. Inspired by the post-war booms in Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea and Japan, the first SEZs are all on the coast to facilitate foreign investment. They include Shenzhen, just 15 miles from Hong Kong, and Xiamen, opposite Taiwan.
Interesting.
Many more will follow in the 1980s.
Shanghai.
The SEZs offer foreign investors access to China's plentiful cheap labor and raw materials, with less regulation and lower taxes. They are touted as gateways to China, ports through which a booming trade in imports and exports can be established.
Very strong, okay.
The SEZs are a massive success, attracting huge amounts of foreign investment, new factories, and jobs. In the countryside, Mao's mass collectivization programs are rolled back.
And what they're given,
rural households are allocated their own land, with more freedom in how they choose to farm it.
Nice. And then I'm assuming the government will still come and take a fair bit of the crop.
Over the next 6 years, 97% of peasant households move from collective to individual land ownership. Agricultural output increases by more than 60%.
That's
Hunger
crazy.
and famine, which have haunted Chinese peasants for millennia, become a thing of the past. Thousands of students and officials who had been exiled to rural areas during the Cultural Revolution are allowed to return to the cities and resume their functions.
Crazy that all of these things that Mao put in place during certain points halted the growth of the country, and he couldn't see it, man. Couldn't see it. He was stuck in the idealism of communism or Maoist Leninist like thought process. Do you know what I mean?
Universities, suspended during the Cultural Revolution, are reintroduced in 1977. And academic life resumes in universities across the country.
Which is only going to help benefit the population.
Abroad, China continues to assert its influence as a major regional power.
In 1978,
to the south, in
in
Indochina, it has supported 2 communist insurgencies in Vietnam and Cambodia. After long struggles, both have secured control in their respective countries. But by the late 1970s, China's relations with communist Vietnam are deteriorating fast.
Why? What's happening?
After the Soviet-China split, Vietnam sides with its other backer, the Soviet Union.
Interesting.
In
Communist and
1978,
communist action.
Vietnam invades Khmer Rouge-controlled Cambodia, led by Pol Pot, threatening to overthrow China's other regional ally.
Ooh, okay. How's China going to
Outraged,
respond?
China launches a limited invasion of Vietnam the following year. But it is a costly affair. Experienced Vietnamese forces inflict an estimated 20,000 casualties on the People's Liberation Army.
The problem with it is at this point China hasn't been involved in conflicts for a while. They've been dealing with internal issues, whereas Vietnam has just, I'm assuming, gone through the Vietnam War.
Chinese military deficiencies are exposed, leading to a thorough overhaul and modernization of its armed forces. Attacking Vietnam, a Soviet ally, does no harm to China's relations with the West, however, which continue to improve. Deng Xiaoping hosts state visits by the Prime Ministers of Great Britain and Japan, the President of France,
I guess because
Queen
they've
Elizabeth
got a form
II.
of capitalism within their communist regime, it's not seen as threatening as Soviet
Deng is
communism,
Time
right?
magazine's Man of the Year. Twice. Deng even softens official language toward the old enemy, nationalist-controlled Taiwan. Communist China's stated strategy towards Taiwan becomes one of peaceful reunification rather than liberation.
Makes sense. Look, we're doing well, you're
But
doing
Deng's
well.
offer to incorporate Taiwan into the People's Republic of China
Yeah, it's denied.
under a one country, two systems formula is rejected by Taiwan's president, Jiang Jingkuo, son of Chiang Kai-shek.
He knows what would eventually happen.
China's new confidence abroad is seen in its promotion of pinyin, the new phonetic system for spelling Mandarin Chinese
Yep.
using the Latin alphabet. The international media finally learns to call Peking Beijing. At home, however, the Communist Party's control over society remains as firm as ever.
That is the problem.
Since 1949, China's population has been growing at an unprecedented rate. This was the result of giant strides in public health, while Mao and the government had encouraged and rewarded large families. In just 30 years, China's population has nearly doubled, from 550 million to around 1 billion.
Which is crazy.
It's a rate that many experts believe is unsustainable and harmful to prosperity. And so, in 1980, China introduces a one-child policy. For most families, a second child will now lead to heavy fines and other penalties. In some cases, there are even forced abortions and sterilization.
Yeah, this is crazy.
The consequence will be a generation of single-child families with a strong gender imbalance in favor of males.
Yep, because traditionally males would obviously further your linearship, therefore you would want a male.
Strict family planning laws are just one way that the Communist Party has transformed the roles and experience of women living in China. Mao declared that women hold half the sky, and in the 1950s he'd introduced laws to improve women's rights in marriage, divorce and property.
That was good for the Chinese
By the late
people.
70s, it is estimated that up to 90% of women based in urban areas are in work.
And again, if only having
In
the option of one
1980,
child, you're going to wait.
China is among the first
And then
to
when you do
ratify
it, you've only
the
got a
UN
limited time because you're not
Convention
having
on the
multiple.
elimination of all forms of discrimination against women.
That's good.
But ambitions and declarations do not always match reality.
That's a shame.
Women remain underrepresented in China's political and economic leadership. And as with much development in China, many reforms take much longer to reach rural communities.
The local areas are
Progress
fine,
is being made, but for many, not quickly enough.
How quick do people want change to happen, you know? I want it to be instantaneous. Shit don't happen like that. Students, we came too late. Whatever you say and criticize us is deserved. Fairs. Alright, here we go. Look at the Tiananmen Square
For
incident.
many, China's economic reforms fuel hopes for political change, especially with the rise to prominence of Hu Yaobang, Deng's old ally, now General Secretary of the party.
Okay, and now he's obviously got a lot
Hu
of
is
favour,
an
right?
unusually outspoken and open-minded member of the Politburo. He advocates greater openness and challenges the privileges of the princelings, the children of senior Communist Party officials. He is hugely popular with the people. Many reformers hope he will, in time, succeed Deng as supreme leader. In 1986, popular discontent leads to student protests across China, with calls for greater openness and democracy.
This is the
When
big
Deng
one.
Xiaoping orders Hu to break up the student protests, he refuses. Hu is forced to resign and perform humiliating self-criticism in front of his colleagues. 2 years later, in the midst of a Politburo meeting, he has a heart attack and dies.
Yo, heart attack as
death.
well. So surely that means, like, was it premeditated? Did someone try and cause that heart attack? Like, what's going on there? That's a bit nuts. It's a bit too coincidental for me.
Attack and dies. The death of such a popular figure, seen as unfairly treated by an out-of-touch party, provokes a huge public reaction.
A form of martyrdom.
Thousands of mourners gather in Beijing. They gravitate towards Tiananmen Square, where mourning turns into protest, just as it did after the death of Zhou Enlai.
Here we go.
Exactly 70 years after the iconic protests of 1919, 100,000 students take part in demonstrations, once more calling
It
for Mr.
turns
Democracy.
violent, doesn't it?
On the
We've
13th
all
of
heard
May,
about this one, haven't we,
hundreds begin a
guys?
hunger strike, hoping to pressure the government into negotiations.
I want to say to the government, what we want is only the democracy, only the freedom of the speech, not overthrow the government. We support our government to go on the reform, economic reform and the political reform.
The new party
They're like,
general
yo, we actually don't
secretary
mind you
is
as a
Zhao
party, but we
Ziyang,
just don't want
another
to
of
be
Deng's
oppressed.
proteges. On the 19th of May, Zhao visits the protest camp, expressing concern and sympathy. At 69, he is one of the younger members of the Politburo and tells students, "We are already old and do not matter."
That's only going to cause a problem,
State
though, right?
Premier Li Peng is a far more conservative figure. He wins Deng's backing for a tough response to the protests. There will be no negotiations, no concessions. Instead, martial law is declared. And on the night of the 3rd of
we
June,
know this.
troops and tanks are sent in to clear.
It's such a shame that there was another political leader there who was like, yo, I sort of understand it, we fucked up, do you know what I mean? Get into power and slowly put these reforms in, put these beliefs up to the party, and slowly they may happen. And the other guy was like, no, roll the tanks in, let's go, come on. And unfortunately, that's the option that we've that they've chosen, and we're going down, because we all know about the Tiananmen Square incident.
And on the night of the 3rd of June, Troops and tanks are sent in to clear Tiananmen Square by any means necessary.
This is where people are killed, aren't they?
The result is a massacre.
These are all civilians, remember. They weren't armed. It was a peaceful protest.
State that 218 civilians and
It was more than
23
that, right?
security personnel were killed, with several thousand injured. Many are skeptical of these numbers, believing the real death toll to be much higher. In the aftermath, cameras capture a remarkable moment of defiance. A lone, anonymous man on Chang'an Avenue blocking a column of tanks.
And we've all seen this clip.
The incident is seen around the world.
We all have seen this clip.
Tank Man becomes a globally famous symbol of resistance to authoritarianism. Despite strict censorship,
How much bravery must you have as that man? Like, let's actually sit there and think of it. Like, at any moment, they could just go, just kill him. I'm not going to run him over, all right, until he's dead. Shoot him, put a bullet in his head, and then I'll go. I'm not running over a live man, but kill him, then I'll run him over. That easy. Could have happened that easy, but no, he stood his ground. I don't think many of us would.
Bloody events emerge. The international media is quick to condemn the massacre. But the Chinese government never deviates from its official line. Speaking a few days after the event, Deng Xiaoping, now 84 years old, denounces the protests as a counter-revolutionary rebellion, fully warranting a military response. General Secretary Zhao Ziyang, who had gone to meet the protesters, is removed from office and spends 15 years under house arrest.
Just because he went to go talk to him and sort it out another way.
Li Peng remains China's state premier for 9 more years.
I mean, I guess it was smart for him. He knew that if he was able to do this, it went well, he would be able to secure himself a strong position. And that he did, my friend, that he did.
That year, Deng Xiaoping formally retires from frontline politics.
Just because of
it
age?
appears he is handing power back to the party's reactionaries and conservatives.
Why though?
Deng's era of reforms has stalled.
Oh, it just got stuck.
China seems to be going backwards.
Why though? Just because other people got involved? Reform is China's second revolution. Okay. Prosperity without freedom. Let's get into this next chapter.
The Tiananmen Square massacre badly damages China's international reputation. And once again, the country finds itself isolated. Many contrast events in China with recent reforms in Taiwan, which has undergone a period of liberalization.
More democracy, right?
Martial law had been lifted for the first time in 1987, paving the way for the island's first full parliamentary elections in 1991. The economy is booming, fueled by foreign investment and led by new companies such as the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC.
And we all know how important that is today. One of the biggest contentions between the US politics and China today. Right?
Today, it's the world's largest chip maker, an industry that will transform Taiwan's economy.
Entirely.
In contrast, China's perceived regression leads to a significant fall in foreign investment, as the United States and European Union impose sanctions. The World Bank suspends loans. Economic forecasts for China are downgraded.
Is that just because of the incident in Tiananmen
China's
Square?
economic stagnation,
Or is it because there's
will
another
stir
issue
Deng
going around
Xiaoping into
in the
action
geopolitics
more.
at the time?
In
Are
1990,
relations just getting better with Russia, so they need a new enemy, so they're looking at China? Like, surely that one incident is going to cause this much of an issue.
once more. In 1992, aged 87, he embarks on a southern tour, visiting successful special economic zones where he demands bolder leadership and greater energy in the drive for economic development.
Okay. But are these just empty words, or?
He dismisses the old dogma that a socialist state must be a planned economy, with no role for a capitalist market.
It needs to be both.
Single-handedly, through his immense personal influence, Deng puts reform back at the center of the agenda.
Nice.
Though never explicitly stated, a new contract between the Chinese Communist Party and the people is being written. Legitimacy in exchange for growth, prosperity, and national resurgence.
Help the country do well, and we will
The
keep
party
you.
upholds its side of the deal. The 1992 Party Congress declares China a socialist market economy. From now on, markets, not the state, will set the prices for goods, services, labor, and capital.
Okay.
Many state-owned enterprises are reformed, privatized, or allowed to fail, as large-scale private businesses take over. GDP leaps from 3.9% in 1990 to 14.2% in 1992, and remains high for a decade.
That's insane.
According to World Bank figures, in 1990, more than 80% of the population lived in extreme poverty.
And how much has that changed?
Over the next 30 years, that number plummets to 0%.
What? Yeah, there's no way it could be zero. That's propaganda. What? 0%? Like, that's bullshit, right? Is that just China's current, like, yeah, there's no way.
It's to 0%. Some regard it as one of the greatest economic miracles in history.
It does.
A vast
It is a great
multitude
feat the
lifted
country has
out
done.
of extreme poverty in record time.
I don't believe 0%.
But there's
10%
another
maybe.
side to this unprecedented economic boom. For decades, the Chinese government had subsidized housing and food. But now,
It just need
price
to right now,
controls
right?
and parts of the social welfare system are removed. Many find themselves abandoned and struggling to get by.
okay.
Now there is more unemployment, corruption, pollution,
So how's poverty gone
dramatically
to
rising
0%?
inequality, especially between urban
Or it was
and
just
rural
eventually?
populations. As a result, tens of millions of the rural poor move to booming cities, where strict residential permit requirements, known as the Hukou system, renders them second-class citizens, locked
Why?
out of state benefits.
Because they don't have a house. I'm assuming.
In 1997, Deng Xiaoping dies, aged 92.
You done the best you could, my
The
friend.
scale of his legacy, though contested, is hard to overstate.
Yeah, you done insane amounts.
Under Deng's leadership, China's economic potential has finally been unleashed, and living standards have soared. To his admirers, Deng is one of the greatest statesmen of the 20th century. To his detractors, he used economic reforms to entrench one-party communist rule.
I mean, and I don't.
The
That's
man who
a fair
oversaw
criticism.
Mao's brutal anti-rightist campaigns of the 1950s remained true to the party to the end.
That he did. He believed in it. It was just to what degree do we agree? Our people are a great people. As long as we unite as one, there is no difficulty that we cannot overcome.
Deng's successor as paramount leader is Jiang Zemin.
This guy doesn't last long, right?
Jiang, politically conservative but an economic reformer, is known for his outgoing personality and is the first Chinese leader to speak both English and Russian.
Okay. Bilingual.
Working with State Premier Li Peng, he ensures the country holds its course, balancing a growing economy with a highly centralized state.
So he just wants to continue what his predecessor has done.
Jiang carries on Deng's cautious approach, described as choosing to hide one's talent and bide one's time. But world leaders now choose their words carefully as their economies become increasingly dependent on Chinese trade.
That is it, they're an exporter.
In July
to no
1997,
others, right?
Hong Kong
Like no
is
others.
peacefully transferred from the United Kingdom to the People's Republic of China, marking the end of 156 years of colonial rule.
It was the one.
It is a hugely symbolic moment for an
One party,
increasingly
two-state
assertive
system, though,
China,
right?
definitively turning the page on its century of humiliation. Two years later, Portugal returns Macau to China. Both territories are promised limited autonomy under a one country, two systems approach.
Yeah, one country, two systems.
Many predict that the rise of China's middle class will lead inevitably to increased demand for political rights. This, after all, is the lesson of 19th century Europe. US President Bill Clinton
It happened one by
even
one,
warned
didn't
China
it?
that its record on human rights puts it on the wrong side of history. Around the world, there is a confident assumption that prosperity will make China more like the West.
That is what we seem to
Defiance
believe,
of such
isn't it?
expectations,
But it's not
the
always worked out
21st
that way.
century sees China continue to grow in economic power and international stature,
Becoming one of the largest and
while at
strongest
home, the
economies
Communist
and
Party
states in the
continues
world, right?
to rule virtually unopposed.
To this day.
In 2001, China joins the World Trade Organization. Chinese goods become cheaper and more competitive than ever. Within a few years, China is the world's largest exporter. More and more foreign companies offshore their manufacturing to China to take advantage of cheap labor. The Chinese economy grows at rates other nations can only dream of. 10, 12, then 14%.
That's insane.
It is, the World Bank declares, the fastest sustained expansion by a major economy in history. The only thing keeping pace is the country's carbon emissions and air pollutants.
Yeah.
In 2008, China hosts its first Olympic Games. It is the perfect stage to showcase a new China to the world. Prosperous, confident, and ambitious. The opening ceremony is an awe-inspiring spectacle that celebrates thousands of years of Chinese history. In 2009, China overtakes Japan to become the world's second largest economy, behind only the USA.
Nuts. And
Communist
impressive.
Party rule is not
Absolutely impressive what China has been able to do with its economy.
entirely uncontested. Far from Beijing, in Tibet and Xinjiang, There are protests over the perceived injustices of its rule. They are met with force and mass detention. The entire country, meanwhile, is subject to increasingly sophisticated surveillance.
They just want to break
and
off and
strict
have
censorship.
independence, don't they?
The Great Firewall helps to keep Chinese citizens safe from harmful foreign ideas, while the internet is continuously patrolled for any sign of dissent.
The state's control over the thoughts of their people is still
security
strong.
and prosperity comes at a price. The freedoms that are taken for granted in many other parts of the world.
We'll give you a better life, but you must keep
2012,
us in power.
After 10
That's
years of
the rule.
leadership, the cautious, technocratic
That's the agreement.
Hu Jintao passes the baton to a new leader, Xi Jinping.
The person we know today. And he will probably
A
be in power
century
for a
on
long
from the
time.
abdication of the last Qing emperor, China is a country that has been utterly transformed. The road has been long, bloody, and turbulent. But there is no doubt that the Middle Kingdom has resumed its natural place at the heart of global affairs.
That they have. And they want to enter the golden age, don't they? They want to become even powerful. Even more powerful.
Would you like to see new episodes from
A great episode. How long ago was that out? 6 months ago? Do you reckon there'll be another episode? Who knows? But let's get into the questions. Okie dokie. So, our 5 questions for this video. How much information did I retain? So, first one. What type of economy area was created to attract foreign investment and boost trade? What type of economy area? They were the, I can't remember, but were those the coastal states? The coastal cities? I can't remember the name. I'm not going to be able to remember the name. But they were the coastal cities, like Shanghai, the one opposite Hong Kong, and all that stuff. I don't remember. So, I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know the name. So the answer is just here. Next question. What policy did China introduce in 1980 to slow the population growth? That was the one child policy, 1 child per household. That was that policy. So I knew that one anyway, so that was a bit too easy, but we're going to go into some harder questions that I've got now, apparently. All right, so the next one. What happened to Hu Yaobang after he refused to suppress the student process in 1986? The opposition party come in, and then he had to go under house arrest for 15 years, I believe. So I believe that's what happened, while the other guy become the premier, or for 9 years, didn't he? So that would be my answer for that one. What were the 4 modernizations? This is a bit of an easier one. It was the the 4 modernization. It wasn't the dictatorship ones. It was the modernization. So it is science, defense, military defense, agriculture. Was it medicine? No, it wasn't medicine. Was it economy? Agriculture, science, defense. Agriculture, science, defense. It wasn't health. Was it economy? What did they need to modernize? What else? Or was it government? Fuck, I can get 3. No. Agriculture, science, defense. What was the 4th one? Agriculture, science, defense, economy. I'm going to say economy, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is, but the answer will be up there. That was the third question. That was a bit easier, I thought, but clearly I didn't get right. So the next one. What was the symbolic significance of Hong Kong's return to China in 1997? According to the video, it was the end of the humiliation from the Opium Wars, right? It just signified the end to a colonization. I think that's it. We'll put that answer there. I don't know if that's going to be a bit too simple of an answer. Is there a Pacific thing I'm supposed to be going for here? Who knows? It's there. That's my answer. We'll know if I'm right or not in the editing system. And then the last one. By approximately how much did the percentage of the Chinese people living in extreme poverty fall by from 1990 and the following 30 years? It said 0%. It says 0%, and I think apparently that is supposed to be correct, but I don't see how you can have that. My answer is going to be 0%, because that's what the video said. And if that is what the video said, then I got it right. But that is my 5 questions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's jump into the outro. And that's the end of this series, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed learning about some Chinese history, and I'd definitely like to find out some more, going back even further, or just getting some more in-depth details about some of the situations here. So if you have any suggestions, drop those in the comments box down below. And of course, if you haven't already, head over to Epic History's channel. That link's down there as well, and check out their content. They make amazing stuff. And if you enjoyed my reaction, you know what you need to do. You need to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, go over to Patreon if you want to see bonus content, but we will catch you in the next video.